The White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce and SCC TV are proud to present Your Business Matters, dedicated to your business needs. The White Bear Area Chamber is a nonprofit business organization serving as advocates to the White Bear area and its business community. Now, here's the Executive Director of the White Bear Area Chamber and the host of Your Business Matters, Tom Snell.
Welcome to Your Business Matters, brought to you by the White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce. Each month, we interview community leaders and local business owners so you can be informed about the developments in our community. I am pleased to welcome Mark Hughes from the Garnet Lodge, which is the home of the area Shriners. Mark and I will discuss the amazing work done by the Shriners in the Twin Cities region and in our local community.
Thank you.
Mark, thanks for coming for our interview today.
Thanks for having me. It's a real honor for me.
Great.
Thank you.
You know, sometimes I'm driving down through White Bear through the White Bear area on Stewart Street, I come across this fairly substantial building with a parking lot.
Right.
And I was told it's called the Garnet Lodge.
It is. It is.
Okay. What is it?
Well, it's Garnet Lodge number 166 in White Bear Lake. And we have about 225 members.
Okay.
Some are Masons and some have gone to the full 32nd degree and became Shriners.
Okay.
The Shriners, when you became a Shriner, it all started back in 1872.
Okay.
And then it grew, and of course, back when you first started, you had to have go to the 32nd degree, so you had a lot of memory work, and then it took months. But as time went on, we figured out that we could do a one-day be a Shriner class, and you could do your Mason work and your memory work and your Shriner work all in one day.
Now the Garnet Lodge is a can people use it in the community? Because it's there, and is this something when you don't have Shriner meetings that groups can use it?
We do rent it out to like art classes and any really nonprofit. We don't have a bar license.
Okay.
And we have a commercial kitchen, but we're not really a bar license. We do have dinners when we're there.
Yeah.
But like we rent it out to art classes at a small nonprofit rate.
Okay.
And so you can email Garnet Lodge and our master or somebody will contact you. I'm to Tyler, which is a guard duty, and I'm also on the trustees, which is we haven't had our first meeting yet for the trustees, but we're
people in the community can have access to it if they want to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We leave no stone unturned.
Yeah.
We are always looking for more members to become Masons and Shriners, so anybody interested should just get a hold of us.
And we'll get into that a little bit as we go in further into our interview process. Now, we mentioned that it's open to the public from time to time, and what I wanted to ask you too about the Shriners or the Masons is, what kind of things do they do in the community? I mean, both from the standpoint of White Bear Lake and for the greater community, the region, the Minnesota and Twin Cities region.
Well, there are a bunch of lodges around the state, and we're one of them. But each lodge gets involved in the community. We do parades, and we do the big pancake breakfast twice a year.
Okay. Now the lodge here, does this represent just White Bear or a greater area?
Oh, greater area. We have guys there from Woodbury, Lake Elmo, White Bear Lake. I happen to live in Shoreview. We have a couple guys there. So all over, you know. But of course, when you belong to a lodge, you're going to probably go to the one that's closest to where you live.
Sure. Now, you mentioned that they do things like pancake breakfast and they're involved in some things like that. What do they do with the money? So they have a big pancake breakfast and it's done, and then they make money. What happens to the money?
We use that money to pay our taxes and really run the building expense out of a lot of that money. So we do it twice a year. But we also have a scholarship program for the White Bear
Okay.
Lake Area High School here,
Okay.
where we have a membership committee for the scholarship program. There's 3 or 4 members of our lodge that sit on there, and you can fill out your application and send in your resume with all the stuff your high school student has done, and then the committee sits down and they choose. We give away 3 or 4 $1,000 scholarships
Oh, you
every
do?
year.
Okay.
And we have a big dinner, and we have each of the students come in and speak and tell
Oh,
us
wow, okay.
where they're going to college or what they think they're going to do with
Yeah.
the money that we're providing. So it's a big program, and I know the Chamber of Commerce does the scholarship program too.
Right, yep,
Every now
yep.
and again, and so I know about those things. But we find that to be very beneficial. And then we've been in the White Bear Lake parade in the summer too.
Okay. So you do the pancake breakfast, and that helps raise money, like you said, for the local upkeep of the Garnet Lodge, and you also give out some scholarships.
Right.
From time to time, I've seen advertisements on television about this the Shriners Hospital. What can you tell me about that? And is there how do they raise money for?
I can tell
the
you lots about
Hospital?
Shriners Hospital. How much time we got?
Well, we'll take it in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But first of all, let's ask about. I mean, it's expensive to run a hospital.
Right.
So
Right. Here's how all
Yep.
that works. Each lodge where there's incumbent Masons and Shriners, your ultimate goal is to work for the kids at Shriners Hospital and to bring in kids to the Shriners Hospital, recruit them. We're recruiting Masons and Shriners because in Minneapolis here on 2025 East River Parkway, we have a big building that is Shriners Hospital. And there are 23 of them across the country.
Okay.
Some are burn units, and some are not. We're an orthopedic unit we make our own prosthetics. We put on $1 million addition just to build prosthetics for Minneapolis and
Wow.
and Chicago. And you can take a tour and see all that done.
Okay.
I'll give you a phone number. to
How
call.
much does it cost? Like if a child needs to go to a Shriners Hospital, what's the cost for that?
It depends on what needs to be done. There are
Okay.
some that just need to come in for physical therapy. There are some that need to have pretty extensive surgeries. What they've done now, as compared to when I was a patient there, is they have all of the staff travel the 7-state area which the hospital serves, and they have different clinics
Yep.
in their towns, and they go to these clinics, and then they tell you when you need an extra treatment or a prosthetic or an operation, then you need to come into our hospital.
But they don't turn people away.
No,
based on
no.
what they. Okay.
It's very simple to get in now. When I started there back in 1964 in September, there was a committee that looked at your family's wealth or their financial income and what you needed to do. And I needed some extensive work. I couldn't sit up and so on and so forth. So I had 35 surgeries. And in this market today, that's about a little over $4 million,
Sure.
free of charge.
Wow.
And now there is a little bit of insurance charge to insurance, but it all goes down to a zero balance.
Wow,
so
that's
it
incredible.
still remains
It
one
really
the same.
is. It really
remains
is.
one the
So-
same.
And then we're going to touch on this in a few minutes too. But I also wanted to know. I mean, these things again are expensive to run. I mean,
Right.
how do the Shriners pay for all of these hospitals around the country? I mean, they can't just do it on pancake breakfast.
Well, no. Here's how it works. The hospital itself, it costs us $2 million a day to run that building. No matter which way, win, lose, or draw,
Yep.
it's $2 million a day. There is a Colorado Market Fund that is managed. And when the stock market does well, so does the Colorado Market Fund. When the stock market doesn't do so well, then we're, watch the Colorado Market
So
Fund.
you have so it's an endowment that has
Right.
been set up through the
Right.
years to
Absolutely.
fund your
Yeah,
medical.
Absolutely. And what we do, and we're going to have one in December down at Osmond Shrine Center down in
Yep.
Eagan. Now, there's a Shrine Center in Minneapolis that's called Zura. But they're going to have a dinner for what we call the Parade of Glory.
Yep.
And you have a march. All
Yeah.
the Shriners come and you have a march. And then they raise money like Some smaller lodges will give like $500.
Great.
Some will give $1,500, and at the end of the night, you might have raised $40,000.
Yeah, and Mark, this is really interesting information.
Great.
And we're going to take just a really quick break, and then we'll get back to discussing the various aspects of the Shriners Hospital and the tremendous work that the Shriners do in our local community. At TRIA in North Oaks, the Chamber will hold its annual legislative reception. This event runs from 5 to 7 p.m. It offers area business people an opportunity to engage with their local legislators. It's free to attend, and appetizers are available along with a cash bar. Please visit the Chamber website at www.whitebearchamber.com to learn more about the upcoming legislative reception. Then, on December 1st, at the Delwood Country Club at Delwood, we're holding our Chamber annual gala festivities. To learn more about the gala, please visit again our Chamber website for further information. With me is Mark Hughes from the Garnet Lodge, the Shriners in White Bear Lake. And Mark, I wanted to ask you some questions again about the Shriners Hospital. So you have an endowment fund that basically funds the Shriners Hospital. Right. And you mentioned that there are various ways that they use to make money in order to replenish the endowment fund, particularly if the stock market goes down rather than up. Absolutely. So you mentioned something about a dinner or some kind of a large event. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Large event. We do have a gala.
Yes.
And we're going to have one on June 1st, 2018 in Minneapolis.
Okay.
That is solely for Shriners Hospital to raise money for it. And last year was the first time I had ever been, and they've done it for 7-8 years. And any business here can sponsor a table.
Okay.
If you want to do that, you can call 612-596-6100. The switchboard will put you in touch with the people that are working on the table. Teresa Barlow is one person I can think of that would help you.
Now the event that's going to happen in Minneapolis next summer and in June, is this for all of the Shriners throughout the United States, or just for the local area?
It's just the local area. And, we want everybody to come, business to sponsored, because if you buy a table, you get like a table of 8 and some great recognition, and you have a great time.
Okay.
And we had Ken Barlow as the MC that did a great job, and Megan Newquist. And they both did a wonderful job, and they are really into it. And I know that Megan has volunteered in years gone by at Shriners Hospital. So
wonderful. So they have this event, and the money that is raised from this gala then goes to the various activities of the Shriners, including funding the local hospital.
Well, the kids have a prom night, and they have different things that go on, and we're always looking to buy toys for the kids and things of this nature. And the Women's Auxiliary, we're the only hospital in the country to still have a woman's auxiliary.
Okay.
What they do is they take your pop tops that are in a pop can, you save them, and one at a time or whatever, and then they put them in a sleeve, and then they weigh them, and they get monies to buy new wheelchairs for the kids for the hospital.
Oh, okay.
So there's another great program we have. And probably the most costly program we really have at the hospital is transportation, because we have patients who are coming from out the 7 states to come to the hospital. The Shriners have vans and cars that bring them, but we're always looking to get that funded too.
And I imagine that Shriners too, because you've got this major medical facility, they want people to volunteer to help in their activities.
Absolutely, and folks that come up here use the Amtrak and all that, and the Jefferson lines and Greyhound. But as you know, all that costs money.
Absolutely.
And so we fund a transportation program, and so we're always looking for help with that too. And then we have Osmond in St. Paul has next March, at the end of March, their circus at the State Fair Coliseum.
Oh, so they still have the Shriners that bit in the circus.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Zura has theirs now in December, next month or so from now. But we have ours in March, and it's later on in March, the last weekend in March, through the first couple days in April. And it's at the State Fair Coliseum. You can seat 5,000, but any business that wants to sponsor our program book or sponsor any of the shows or what we do called Buy a Show, you can certainly call up 452-5660. That's the number to the Egan office at Osmond, and somebody there will help you.
Good. Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit. We went into that briefly at the very beginning about the Shriners. They're one of several major organizations in our community that are involved in various charitable work.
Right.
And the Shriners is something that people have heard about for a long time. And first of all, you briefly mentioned how long they've been around. Now, again, when was the Shriners actually founded? When was it?
The Shriners, the guys with the red fezzes like I have, was founded in 1872.
1872.
Now, the hospital started in 1922 or 1923. We were the second hospital in the chain of 23 here in Minneapolis.
That's incredible.
So we have a new building that was built. Well, we started in 1989. They moved in 1990.
But the Shriners started in. They've been around over 100 years.
Oh yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
So
it seems like only yesterday.
Okay, so if a person wants to become a Shriner, what do they need to do?
Well, the first thing you can do is call Osmond Shrine Center, and that number is 651-452-5660, and then they'll send out a form you need to fill out, and then it'll come back to the committee. They will approve it, and then they'll have a couple signers on your degree work. You'll do some degree work, and they'll have a one-day to masonry, and we have one coming up in November. I don't want to give dates on this, but about November 11th they'll have
Okay, so can somebody, if they're interested in becoming a Shriner, can they go to one of your meetings or one of your activities to just kind of see what it's like? And
Absolutely,
test it out?
we encourage that.
Okay.
That if let's say you're having lunch with somebody, and you say, hey, I know this guy that belongs to my chamber. He's a Shriner, and they're looking for people. Why don't you do that? That's the kind of stuff we're looking for. Yeah. And they can come to a meeting to see how it works and all that. Yeah. And then sign up, and then we have a lot of one-day to masonry and Shriners classes, and they can do that. So. And then you can wear red fez and carry a card just like I do.
It used to be years ago. There were all kinds of rumors that the Masons controlled the country, behind people's backs. They manipulated how things were going on in our nation, and I wanted you to kind of let people know that isn't the case, or that never happened. And
well, I think in every company, if you're a company of any size at all, there's rumors that start from the back door and they go to the front.
Right. Yep.
And I don't. That rumor isn't true at all.
Absolutely
not true at all. We're all people that work for businesses or own businesses that want to do good for the community. And of course, it hits home to me because I was once a former patient, so I felt I needed to do something back. So I became a Shriner, and I also created a nonprofit local cable show called Disability Viewpoints. That's 20 years old this year.
Yep.
And it's been fun. It's won 7 or 8 national awards. It's not about me. I've had good people working for me. But I can tell you this: we've had a lot of trouble or some problem over the years with PETA and using elephants at the circus. We still, to this day, for $10, you can put your grandchild, your niece, your nephew, son or daughter on top of an elephant. It's all enclosed. They can ride that elephant. We make a lot of money in $10 elephant rides.
That'd be a nice.
And so and elephants are a big part of that circus. Now,
Sure.
Barnum and Bailey, after about 106 years,
Right.
they shut their
So
operation down.
you're maybe the only one
We're,
left.
we're the only one left, and I don't go home easy, you know.
Yeah.
Support the Shrine Circus. But in closing, I also want to tell you there are a couple lodges that belong to the local Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, including
mine.
Right.
And I've been around for quite a few years now over there.
Yep.
And I want to tell you what a great group of people they are, from Tom Snell on down.
Yeah.
And we're having a new board election that I'm really excited about. And they do a lot of good events at the White Bear Lake Chamber of Commerce. So I hope all local business and all local community here in White Bear Lake will support our White Bear Lake Chamber of Commerce, because I feel it has helped our lodge immensely. And I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think so. But I'm going to continue with it.
So I know, and what I'd like to say just too in closing is that, again, there are a number of these organizations that have been around for decades, and they all perform wonderful community services, and a lot of them, the people are getting older, and I would like to have you just mention why it's so important to belong to groups like the Shriners or the Rotary or the Lions and some of the other organizations in the community that really provide needed services.
Sure, I can. Yes, our organization, we're all getting older, me included, but by today's standards, I'm a pretty young Shriner.
Yep.
However, any one of these organizations are all helping somebody in the community.
Yep.
They're helping a child.
Yep.
And you know, that child could be somebody in your family. You'll drive around 2025 East River Parkway, and we have an open house every year where the community is invited to look at it.
Yep.
But you'll drive around and you say, boy, I wonder what that big building does, but that's all you'll say about it, because you won't need to use it until you need to use it. But that's what we do. Good.
And now, finally, if somebody, again, wants to get a hold of the Shriners, do they have a website that they can go to?
OsmondShrine.org.
Okay.
We'll get the Osmond Shriners. Shriners Hospital, TwinCities.net. We'll get Shriners Hospital, Minneapolis. I'll give you two phone numbers for the switchboards. 612-596-6100 will get you Shriners Hospital, Minneapolis. And then 651-452-5660 will get your office in Eagan. The other thing is that look on like CNN, we're running a lot of national commercials for Shriners. That's
I've
Shriners
seen that.
International.
Yep.
And Shriners is actually based out of Tampa, Florida.
Yep. And thank you, Mark. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you. This is Tom Snell from Your Business Matters. Have a great Thanksgiving, and thank you again for watching Your Business Matters.
Thank you very much.
You've been watching Your Business Matters. For more information on this program or the White Bear Area Chamber, visit whitebearchamber.com or call 651-429-8593.